This is my final exam for botany. Alright, what are three things you feel like you have gained this semester that can be applied to your future goals? Well, one, and it's a little weird, but it seems to how to prevent algae, kind of like, because, algae is cool and it's its own organism, but like, it really, if you're a fisherman, it kind of messes up the lakes, it's kind of hard to fish. And then, you get your bait covered in algae, you don't want the fish don't want to eat it. So, like, that can help be applied towards my future goals. Um, One thing also gained from the semester is through the book, What a Plant Knows. So, like, I thought plants were just some more dumb, organisms, didn't have feelings, but like learn they feel in their own way, and that will definitely help me achieve my goal. And to be honest, being a better person, respecting the wildlife, and and in biology, realizing, hey, all life, is life, it's just like to respect it more, respect nature. And then and then the last thing I learned is more how to take care of plants, um, learn how they're facing, stuff like that. You know, how to help the plant, help better take care of plants, which will again help me in biology, especially for like labs and stuff. Now, what was your favorite topic this semester? I will have to say more of what we did. It was the book, What a Plant Knows, it's because I learned what the plant feels, what it, that it doesn't have any hearing, but, some do, like, have, eye spots, can tell light on, you know, and, it kind of has its own personality in a way, its own personality in a way, we thought plants, couldn't feel or nothing. Well, it turns out they can. Just prove that vegan teacher wrong. Um, it's just a little different than how we feel. They can tell whether they're up, down, and will, sprout that way. You know, it was pretty cool, how they feel pain, how they see, what they think, what they know, what they remember, it's cool, I thought Venus flytrap was just a mechanical mechanism, but it turns out, it has its ways of detecting how big something is, how small something is, and they have neuroreceptors just like us. So I could go on about this book, and that I had no idea Darwin was more of a botanist, but the evolution took him off track. But it's still cool, man. Like, oh, man, what is a plant? Well, I would say a plant is obviously anything in the kingdom Plantae, which, obvious answer. But it's also, an autotrophic organism may or may not have a root system that uses pigment and sunlight, and, often, uh, and, often contains a green filament, but they also are autotrophs. Even the Venus flytrap to some degree is an autotroph, because it still can take, whatchamacallit, it still can take it still does photosynthesis in its own way, But what's crazy, I would say, about plants is not all two plants are similar, Because you got some plants that are okay, maybe it's barely, but then some plants, that definitely fit that definitely fit characteristics. So you really gotta study more and know what you're looking for to really determine if it's a plant or not. Because like some plants, like algae, they don't have root systems. Other plants, like pine cones, they don't have leaves. You know, other plants, they get it. They sit. Some plants have both female and male reproductive systems, while others it depends on your gender. You know. So, some plants may have stuff, others may not. Now, what are the major groups of plants discussed? Well, first we got flowering plants and angiosperms. Basically, they have both male and female reproductive organs. What happens there, one releases pollen. Sometimes you get the bees sniffing in there, boom, takes it to the other plant, and then it like reproduces. But they have both female and male reproductive organs, so like you can switch. So they have root systems, they have the leaves, they have the flowers, you know. What you call it? The next is conifers and synads. Basically, what you call it? They have they have canes. They have cones as reproductive structures. So like you see a pine tree, pine cone. Those are its reproductive structures. Next is ferns and allies, petrolates. So they're similar to flowering plants, except they're different. Like they do not have a root system, believe it or not. They do have a root system, but they don't have seeds. They have reproductive spores. They're independent and free living organisms. So like, not all two are alike. They're not connected in like big ropes. And each spore is also its own, organism that helps reproduce. And the last is mosses and periphyllates. Mosses are non-flowering. They're non-flowering. They store moisture, and they also store soil nutrients. So, man, they also store soil nutrients. So what that means, they're not traditional. They're more ancient. For a while we did not know what kingdom to put them in, and who knows? We might move them into a different kingdom. Because they don't have a root system, but they do rely on photosynthesis. They're non-flowering plants, but they store moisture and nutrients and pretty much grow anywhere. But they're also very fragile. That's why in Iceland, you see these. They have natural moss, that covers rocks and that, but you can't step on it, otherwise you're gonna unalive it. It could take a long time to grow back. So it's beautiful scenery for the most part. And then different mosses grow different places. You got brown moss, blue moss. You also got algae, stuff like that. Some of them sea otters, like those are cute. Now, why are plants important? Well, they give us food, medicine. They filter out toxins, take them in, release CO2. Why aren't plants important, though? Is a real question. Yeah, you could always burn coal in that. But, like, before, we got into the industrial age and destroyed the planet, we use them for fire, basic needs. We use them for shelter. Yeah, you can use, animal furs, hides, and stuff like that. But, boom, that's wood. The outside of the building I'm in is wood. We use them. Boom, that door is wood. So and medicine. We're also doing some research into cannabis medicine. It's helped a lot of people. It's helped soldiers who have had PTSD. It's helped get anxiety down. And I'm in New Mexico, and a shop down the road, you get the option medical or recreational. So it's pretty. So it helps people, but even your basic medicines have some sort of plants in them. Just from the herbals. And then food, eating, they're in all teas. Me, I like green tea that has some plant leaves in it. Without that, I couldn't have it. And it's really good for runners, especially because of those toxins in leaves, which can also be used as sort of medicine. It helps keep you awake, alert, alive, stuff like that. But then also, one great thing is that we can also use it for the atmosphere. They also help the atmosphere, which is burning up. Thanks, coal mining. Now, and Trump. Anyways. What they do, obviously, they take in the CO2 and, help release oxygen into the air, making it easier for us to breathe. It cleans the air more and goes up into the air. So it's stuff like that. And, biggest question is, why aren't plants important? Forget those people in the Amazon rainforest that are tearing it down and say, oh, they're not good. Lies. I mean, but even then, longer than that, they're tearing down the forest, but they're proving plants are good, man. Because, I mean, think of it. They're using them for a resource. Even our money, cons plants, trees are plants. The U.S. money is a mix of con and, whatchamacallit, and paper, which, paper comes from trees. So we trade, with plants every day, man. So, yeah.